Welcome to the comprehensive chess course brought to you by Chess Stars. In this course, you will learn the objective of chess, how each of the chess pieces moves, all the different chess verbiage that people use, the best way to develop your pieces early on in a chess game, how to formulate a plan of attack as you come out of the chess opening and into the middle game, different strategies and tactics in chess that will make you a competitive player, as well as in-game training to ensure that you're the one doing the checkmating and not your opponent. We want to make sure that you are in the victory lane. Now, let's get to it. Enjoy the rest of the chess course. Chess is a strategy game played on a checkered board with 64 squares. The objective of chess is to checkmate your opponent's king. Checkmate simply means the king is under attack and there's no legal moves to stop that attack. Now, on your quest to checkmate your opponent's king, you are given 16 pieces, as your opponent is given the same 16 pieces. Let's take a look at all of the chess pieces and their respective names. Both sides are given 8 pawns. After the pawns, both sides have 2 rooks. These are on the corners of the chessboard. Next to the rooks, there are 2 knights. Next to the knights, there are 2 bishops. Next to the bishops, we have the queen. And lastly, we have the king. King generally has a cross on the crown. Now, while the king is not the most powerful piece on the board, it is definitely the most important because if the king falls, you lose the game. If you are setting up a chessboard yourself, make sure that all of the pieces line up with your opponent's pieces, meaning all the rooks should line up, the queen should be on the same file, the king should be on the same file, and all the pieces should be on the same file. One thing you'll notice on a chessboard is there are both numbers as well as letters. Letters are going to represent the file. The queens are going to be on the D file. The numbers are going to represent the rank. The pawns for black are going to be on the 7th rank. For whites, the pawns are going to be on the 2nd rank. Understanding files and ranks makes it very easy to understand where a chess piece is on the board, as well as where a chess piece is moving. If someone says that the pawn moved to the E4 square, you can first look at the E file, and then you can look at the 4th rank, and you can see that the pawn has moved to the E4 square. In a chess game, white goes first, followed by black, and both sides alternate moving one piece at a time until someone has checkmated their opponent or until there is a draw. In later videos, we'll get into how to checkmate your opponent and how a game can end in a draw. Each chess piece has a relative point value associated with it. Now, you don't win the game by having more points than your opponent. You win the game by checkmating your opponent's king, but points give you a general idea about when you should exchange material, as well as looking at a board and figuring out who is winning the game. Pawns have a value of 1 point. Knights and bishops, both minor pieces, have a value of 3 points. Rooks and queens are major pieces. Rooks have a value of 5 points, and queens have a value of 9 points. Let's take a look at the beginning of a chess game. White starts the game by playing his pawn to E4. Black plays A5. White plays knight to F3, and black responds with rook to A6. Now you can see that the bishop here on F1 can take this rook here on A6. Point values let us know when a trade is beneficial for one side. Knowing that the rook is worth 5 points and the bishop is worth 3 points, white in this example should take with his bishop here on A6. Now black can recapture with either the knight here on A6 or the pawn taking diagonally here on A6. But either way, after the exchange, white is up 2 points in material. Again, you don't win the game by being up in material, but this gives you a general idea of who is winning the game and when you should trade off material. In this example, you can see that white has 2 pieces, 1 king and 1 queen. Black has 4 pieces, 1 king, 2 bishops, and 1 pawn. Although black has more pieces on the board, white has more points as far as the value of his pieces. The queen is worth 9 points, while the bishops are worth 3, and the pawn is worth 1. So the pieces for black add up to 7, and the queen is worth 9. In this example, white has a much better position and should end up winning this game.